gonna need a lot of this, aren't I? Hello guys, and welcome to another Doctor Who review. Today is Hellbent, the final episode of Series 9. 4 categories, as per usual, first being storyline and concept. They finished off Face the Raven so well with Clara's death, and they brought back, or semi-brought back Clara into Heaven Sent, which, although I was a bit iffy about, I'm still okay with it in general. This episode though, no. You bring Clara back and you've caused this massive issue with just time, and you haven't fixed it, and it's still a problem. And the whole thing with the Doctor in Waters of Mars, and I'll probably play a clip now.
If my family changes, the whole of history could change. No one should have that much power.
Tough.
I've gone too far.
That's now been counteracted because the Doctor's now bending the laws of time to keep Clara alive in a universe where she shouldn't be alive. And some people may think, oh, but it's so great because it's like keeping her alive and everything. No, if last episode had a plot hole point with the Dalek is never having like half Dalek or whatever, then this one is even more Swiss cheese than that. There was some really good points and stuff with the recruitment onto the Doctor's side, and the whole first bit with Gallifrey, that was really good, and I was sort of going, yeah, like I'm starting to get into this episode. And yeah, like as soon as you changed one of the greatest episodes in a few years to make it more Moffat-y, you get just a big problem in my eyes. And I don't think that Moffat should have a control in every single part of Doctor Who's history. I'm not too keen on just the general storyline. I do think that it was a bit iffy, in my opinion. I mean, some people may see it as great because fan service and everything, but no, that's not what I think. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 because no. Next is character portrayal. Character portrayal wasn't that bad, and I actually think it was pretty good. The Doctor, portrayed by Peter Capaldi, he never had any real elements of joking around and everything. He was core Doctorish, but not proper mean Doctor. He was a good Doctor. I think that this episode, in terms of Peter Capaldi, was really, really good. Peter Capaldi portrayed that very well. Clara, even though I'm not her biggest fan, I can see the Clara in Clara there. And then obviously Ada Shilder, not the best thing that she's done. She was better in the Maya two-parter, the girl who died and the woman who lived. She was alright in Face the Raven. I did like her then. I'm questioning her inclusion along with Clara's in this episode, obviously. So this episode is going to get a 3 out of 5 from me. Next is antagonist impression. This episode is a bit difficult to analyse antagonists because the closest thing which came to an antagonist was Rassilon. Everything else was the Doctor trying to combat time itself and trying to make Clara live, and it felt different and from the usual. So it's not like the general fight a monster and like he dies and then the Doctor wins and like party in the TARDIS. Like Rassilon was defeated in pretty much 10 minutes. I can't assess that as an antagonist impression because there was no antagonist in this episode. So even though there's now 4 categories and it's now kind of assessing it now on 3 things, as I said, like I can't give a score for something which wasn't really there. So this is going to get a not applicable out of 5. It's just not going to be counted in scoring. Next is personal enjoyment. Now, this episode, as I stated before, is confusing. I started to get the general gist of what was happening, to start off with, and I was thinking, I get this, this is good. But then it went on like a downhill trend, and that's something which I don't like, of how it just went down, deeper and down. They should have just left it as on Face the Raven. Why does Moffat, as I said earlier, why does Moffat feel the need to essentially counteract Face the Raven and the great ending that has, where Clara went too far, and just, as I said, shove it on the fire and write his own ending? That's essentially, whoever wrote Face the Raven, that's essentially him going, well, great story, but no, it's my way, so we're doing it my way. No, that shouldn't have been how it went, and in my opinion, he did the worst version of it. In the terms of scoring itself, I usually take this off Twitter. This week I decided to do it a little bit different and sort of see how it went in terms of scoring. For this one, I gave it, in my personal opinion, a 5, maybe a 4 out of 10. It left a general just bad taste in my mouth, and that's not something which a Doctor Who episode should do. It's not quite as bad as Listen. Listen was fairly bad. Last year's end two-parter was bad in my opinion, the way that they dealt with Cyberbrig and Missy. Your opinion, put it down in the comments below, and I'm open to discussion. Maybe, you never know, I might change my mind on third viewing and such, but as it goes, I just wasn't terribly impressed with this episode. So as I said, 5 out of 10, that's a 2.5 out of 5, which means the average is a 2.5 and a 5, which is, as I said, average, but nothing special. This is the end of the season, isn't it? So, what I did last season was I shoved every single episode thumbnail into one screen, like so, and if you want to rewatch any Doctor Who review that I've done this season, including this one, just in case, just click on any of them. I'll put also a link in the description below to the playlist and every single individual one if you're on mobile. In terms of the Christmas special, I'm going to be reviewing that with someone else yet again. I will reveal that plan later, but that's not going to be this year, that's going to be next year, because anyone who's known my channel for a while knows that I take a Christmas break because I need to rewind and recharge my batteries and spend time with family and friends and stuff. I can't YouTube 100% of the time, otherwise I'd literally be a puddle on the floor. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching this year's or this series of Doctor Who review, and I'll catch you in the next one. So this is the Anchorites, signing out.